Tonight, let us embark on a serene journey into the heart of ancient Rome, a realm where emperors weren't merely rulers, but gods walking among mortals. We delve into the fascinating phenomenon of the Imperial cult, a system that blurred the lines between earthly power and divine reverence. Imagine, if you will, the grandeur of Rome, its marble temples gleaming under the Mediterranean sun, its bustling forums echoing with the pronouncements of men who claimed descent from the gods themselves. This is the world of the sleeping emperors, where ambition met apotheosis, and where the echoes of their divine slumber still resonate through the ages. The Imperial cult wasn't an overnight sensation. It was a carefully cultivated evolution rooted in Roman pragmatism and a deep-seated need for social cohesion. To understand its origins, we must first look to the late Republic, a period marked by intense political rivalries and civil wars. The traditional Roman pantheon, while still respected, seemed increasingly distant and unable to provide the stability the Republic desperately craved. Enter Julius Caesar, a man of unparalleled ambition and charisma. Caesar, through a series of astute political maneuvers and military victories, amassed unprecedented power, effectively becoming the de facto ruler of Rome. The Senate, initially wary of Caesar's growing influence, gradually succumbed to his authority, granting him unprecedented honors and titles. These included the title of Dictator Perpetuo, Dictator for Life, a clear indication of his intention to rule without limits. But it was Caesar's association with the divine that truly set the stage for the Imperial cult. He claimed descent from Venus, the goddess of love and beauty, thereby imbuing his rule with a divine aura. This was not merely a personal vanity project. It was a calculated move to legitimize his power and elevate himself above the political fray. His assassination on the Ides of March, while intended to restore the Republic, ironically paved the way for the very thing his assassins sought to prevent: the rise of an emperor who would be worshipped as a god. Following Caesar's death, a power vacuum ensued, leading to another period of civil war. Out of this chaos emerged Octavian, Caesar's adopted son and heir. Octavian, later known as Augustus, was a master strategist and a shrewd politician. He understood the importance of maintaining stability and order, and he recognized the potential of Caesar's deification to unite the fractured Roman state. Augustus, however, was careful not to repeat Caesar's mistakes. He adopted a more subtle approach to his own divinization, presenting himself not as a living god, but as the son of a god. He promoted the cult of Divus Julius, the deified Julius Caesar, thereby associating himself with his divine father and legitimizing his own rule. This was a crucial step in the development of the Imperial cult. It established the precedent that deceased emperors could be deified and that their successors could benefit from this divine association. Augustus also skillfully used propaganda and public works to promote his image as a benevolent ruler, a bringer of peace and prosperity. Temples were built in honor of the deified Julius and, later, to Augustus himself. Statues and portraits depicting Augustus as a youthful and idealized figure were widely circulated, reinforcing his image as a divinely favored leader. The Era Pacis, the altar of peace commissioned by Augustus, is a testament to this carefully crafted image. It depicts scenes of Roman prosperity and piety, with Augustus and his family prominently featured, subtly reinforcing their divine connection. The reign of Augustus marked the beginning of the Pax Romana, a period of unprecedented peace and prosperity that lasted for over 2 centuries. This era saw the consolidation of the imperial cult as a central element of Roman state religion. While Augustus himself was not officially deified until after his death, his successors readily embraced the concept of divine rule. Emperors like Caligula and Nero took the idea of divine emperors to new extremes, demanding to be worshipped as living gods. Caligula, known for his erratic behavior and megalomania, declared himself to be Jupiter incarnate and ordered temples to be built in his honor. He even planned to move the statue of Zeus from Olympia to Rome and replace its head with his own. Nero, equally flamboyant and self-obsessed, saw himself as an artist and a performer, believing that his talents were divinely inspired. He participated in public performances, much to the dismay of the Roman aristocracy, and demanded to be applauded as if he were a god. These emperors, while often ridiculed and reviled by their contemporaries, played a significant role in shaping the imperial cult. Their excesses, however, also highlighted the dangers of unchecked power and the potential for abuse when emperors believed themselves to be above the law. However, not all emperors embraced the imperial cult with the same fervor. Some, like Vespasian and Titus, adopted a more pragmatic approach, recognizing the political value of the cult without necessarily believing in their own divinity. Vespasian, who came to power after a period of civil war, used the imperial cult to legitimize his rule and restore stability to the empire. He famously quipped, "I think I'm becoming a god," as he lay on his deathbed, acknowledging the political significance of the cult while maintaining a sense of humor about it. Titus, his son and successor, was also a popular and respected ruler, known for his generosity and his handling of the aftermath of the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, which destroyed Pompeii and Herculaneum. He was deified after his death, further solidifying the imperial cult as a cornerstone of Roman society. The Flavian dynasty, founded by Vespasian, demonstrated how the imperial cult could be used to create a sense of continuity and legitimacy, even after periods of political upheaval. The imperial cult reached its zenith under the emperors of the 2nd century AD, often referred to as the 5 good emperors: Nerva, Trajan, Hadrian, Antoninus Pius, and Marcus Aurelius. These emperors were chosen for their ability and virtue, rather than through hereditary succession, and they presided over a period of peace, prosperity, and expansion. Trajan, a renowned military leader, expanded the Roman Empire to its greatest extent, conquering Dacia and Parthia. He was also a great builder, commissioning numerous public works, including Trajan's Forum and Trajan's Column, which commemorated his military victories. Hadrian, Trajan's successor, was a more introspective and intellectual emperor. He traveled extensively throughout the empire, strengthening its defenses and promoting Roman culture. He also built Hadrian's Wall in Britain, marking the northern boundary of the Roman Empire. Antoninus Pius, known for his piety and his devotion to the welfare of his people, reigned for over 2 decades without engaging in any major wars. Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher king, is best known for his Stoic philosophy, which he documented in his book Meditations. These emperors, while not necessarily believing in their own divinity, recognized the importance of the imperial cult in maintaining social cohesion and political stability. They used the cult to promote their image as benevolent rulers, dedicated to the welfare of the Roman people. However, the seeds of the imperial cult's decline were sown during the reign of Commodus, the son of Marcus Aurelius. Commodus, unlike his father, was a cruel and erratic ruler, obsessed with gladiatorial combat and personal glory. He saw himself as a reincarnation of Hercules and demanded to be worshipped as a living god. He renamed Rome Colonia Commodiana, the colony of Commodus, and renamed the months of the year after his own names and titles. His excesses alienated the Roman aristocracy and undermined the credibility of the imperial cult. Commodus's assassination in 192 AD marked the end of the Pax Romana and ushered in a period of civil war and political instability. The Severan dynasty, which followed, attempted to restore order and stability, but the empire was never quite the same. The rise of Christianity, with its monotheistic beliefs and its rejection of emperor worship, posed a growing challenge to the imperial cult. The emperors of the late Roman Empire, such as Diocletian and Constantine, attempted to revive the cult, but their efforts were ultimately unsuccessful. Christianity eventually became the dominant religion of the Roman Empire, and the imperial cult faded into obscurity. The story of the sleeping emperors is a testament to the enduring power of myth and the human desire for order and meaning. It is a reminder that even the most powerful empires are built on fragile foundations, and that the pursuit of divine status can lead to both glory and ruin. The echoes of their divine slumber continue to resonate through the ages, reminding us of the complex and fascinating world of ancient Rome and the enduring legacy of its emperors. Now, let us delve deeper into the specific rituals and practices associated with the imperial cult. These rituals were not merely empty gestures. They were carefully orchestrated performances designed to reinforce the emperor's divine status and legitimize his rule. Temples were built in honor of the deified emperors, and priests were appointed to oversee the rituals and sacrifices. Statues and portraits of the emperors were venerated, and oaths were sworn in their name. The imperial cult also played a role in public festivals and celebrations, with processions, games, and theatrical performances all designed to honor the emperor and reinforce his connection to the divine. One of the most important rituals was the deification ceremony, which took place after the death of an emperor. This ceremony, known as the apotheosis, involved a complex series of rituals and pronouncements. culminating in the declaration that the deceased emperor had ascended to the heavens and become a god. The apotheosis was a powerful symbol of the emperor's divine status and a way of ensuring that his legacy would endure. The Roman historian Tacitus describes the apotheosis of Augustus in detail, noting the elaborate preparations and the solemn pronouncements that accompanied the ceremony. He also notes the skepticism of some Romans who questioned the validity of the deification process. However, the apotheosis remained a central element of the imperial cult, serving as a powerful reminder of the emperor's divine status. The architecture of ancient Rome also played a crucial role in shaping the perception of the emperors as divine figures. The grand scale and imposing design of Roman temples, forums, and public buildings were intended to inspire awe and reverence. The use of marble, a material associated with purity and divinity, further enhanced this effect. Statues and portraits of the emperors were prominently displayed in public spaces, reinforcing their image as powerful and benevolent rulers. The Colosseum, with its gladiatorial combats and public spectacles, was a symbol of Roman power and a testament to the emperor's ability to entertain and control the masses. The Pantheon, a temple dedicated to all the gods, including the deified emperors, is a masterpiece of Roman architecture and a symbol of the empire's religious syncretism. The dome of the Pantheon, with its oculus open to the sky, was intended to create a sense of connection between the earthly and the divine. The architecture of ancient Rome was not merely functional. It was a form of propaganda designed to reinforce the emperor's authority and promote the imperial cult. The legacy of the imperial cult extends far beyond the borders of ancient Rome. The concept of divine rule has influenced political and religious systems throughout history. From the pharaohs of ancient Egypt to the emperors of Japan, rulers have often claimed divine status to legitimize their power and maintain social order. The idea of a divine right of kings, which prevailed in Europe for centuries, is a direct descendant of the imperial cult. Even in modern times, the cult of personality, which is often associated with authoritarian regimes, can be seen as a secular version of the imperial cult. The study of the imperial cult provides valuable insights into the nature of power, the role of religion in society, and the enduring human desire for order and meaning. It is a reminder that the pursuit of divine status can have both positive and negative consequences, and that the line between earthly power and divine reverence is often blurred. As we drift off to sleep, let us contemplate the legacy of the sleeping emperors and the marble gods of midnight, whose echoes continue to resonate through the ages. The rise and fall of the imperial cult serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the ephemeral nature of power and the enduring power of myth. The influence of the imperial cult can also be seen in the development of Roman law, as emperors came to be viewed as divine figures. Their decrees and pronouncements were increasingly seen as having the force of law. The emperor's will was considered to be the ultimate source of legal authority, and his decisions were often based on what was believed to be divine inspiration. This led to the development of a complex system of imperial law, which played a significant role in shaping the legal systems of Europe and beyond. The Corpus Juris Civilis, a collection of Roman legal texts compiled under the Emperor Justinian in the 6th century AD, is a testament to the enduring legacy of Roman law and the influence of the imperial cult. The Corpus Juris Civilis served as the basis for legal systems throughout Europe for centuries and continues to influence legal thought today. The concept of natural law, which holds that there are certain universal principles of justice that are inherent in human nature, also has its roots in Roman legal thought and the imperial cult. The idea that emperors were bound by natural law, even though they were considered to be divine figures, helped to limit their power and protect the rights of their subjects. The economic impact of the imperial cult was also significant. The construction of temples, statues, and other monuments dedicated to the deified emperors created jobs and stimulated economic activity. The imperial cult also played a role in promoting trade and commerce, as pilgrims traveled from all over the empire to visit the sacred sites associated with the cult. The city of Rome, as the center of the imperial cult, benefited greatly from this influx of pilgrims and the economic activity that it generated. The imperial cult also had a more indirect impact on the economy, as it helped to create a sense of stability and social cohesion, which in turn fostered economic growth. The Pax Romana, the period of peace and prosperity that lasted for over 2 centuries, was in part a result of the unifying influence of the imperial cult. The emperors, by promoting the cult and presenting themselves as benevolent rulers, were able to create a sense of shared identity and purpose, which helped to reduce social tensions and promote economic cooperation. However, the economic benefits of the imperial cult were not evenly distributed. The wealthy elite, who controlled the vast majority of the empire's resources, benefited the most from the cult, while the poor and marginalized often struggled to survive. The imperial cult, like many other aspects of Roman society, was characterized by significant inequalities. The military also played a crucial role in the imperial cult. The Roman army was not only a powerful force for conquest and expansion, but also a symbol of Roman power and authority. The soldiers were fiercely loyal to the emperor, and they played a key role in enforcing his rule and maintaining order throughout the empire. The imperial cult was closely intertwined with the military, as the soldiers were required to swear oaths of loyalty to the emperor and to participate in religious ceremonies honoring the deified emperors. The standards of the Roman legions often featured images of the emperors, further reinforcing the connection between the military and the imperial cult. The military also played a role in promoting the cult in conquered territories, as they often built temples and monuments dedicated to the emperors in newly acquired provinces. The Roman army was not only a military force, but also a cultural force, spreading Roman customs and beliefs throughout the empire. The imperial cult was one of the most important elements of Roman culture, and the military played a key role in disseminating it to the far corners of the empire. The relationship between the military and the imperial cult was a complex and multifaceted one, reflecting the close connection between power, religion, and social control in ancient Rome. The art and literature of ancient Rome also provide valuable insights into the imperial cult. Roman artists and writers often depicted the emperors as divine figures, highlighting their virtues and accomplishments. Statues, portraits, and reliefs were used to create a visual image of the emperor as a powerful and benevolent ruler. Poets and historians wrote accounts of the emperor's lives and deeds, often exaggerating their accomplishments and downplaying their flaws. The Aeneid, an epic poem by Virgil, is a classic example of Roman propaganda, glorifying the reign of Augustus and portraying him as a divinely ordained ruler. The works of the Roman historian Tacitus provide a more critical perspective on the emperors, but even Tacitus acknowledges the power and influence of the imperial cult. The art and literature of ancient Rome were not merely reflections of reality, but also powerful tools for shaping public opinion and promoting the imperial cult. The emperors understood the importance of art and literature in maintaining their power, and they actively supported artists and writers who were willing to promote their image and their agenda. The legacy of Roman art and literature continues to influence our understanding of the imperial cult and the complex relationship between power, religion, and culture in ancient Rome. As we continue our journey into the world of the sleeping emperors, let us consider the role of women in the imperial cult. While the emperors themselves were almost always men, women played a significant role in the cult, particularly as priestesses and devotees. The empresses, in particular, were often closely associated with the imperial cult, and they played a key role in promoting the cult and legitimizing the emperor's rule. Livia, the wife of Augustus, was a powerful and influential figure, and she played a key role in promoting the cult of Divus Julius, the deified Julius Caesar. Agrippina the Younger, the mother of Nero, was also a powerful figure, and she used her influence to promote her son's image and his connection to the divine. Women also played a role in the imperial cult as donors and patrons, funding the construction of temples and monuments dedicated to the deified emperors. The role of women in the imperial cult was complex and multifaceted, reflecting the complex social and political dynamics of ancient Rome. While women were often excluded from formal political power, they were able to exercise influence through their religious roles and their connections to the emperors. The study of women in the imperial cult provides valuable insights into the lives and experiences of women in ancient Rome and the ways in which they negotiated the complex social and political landscape of the empire. The decline of the imperial cult was a gradual process, influenced by a variety of factors. The rise of Christianity, with its monotheistic beliefs and its rejection of emperor worship, posed a growing challenge to the cult. The economic and political instability of the late Roman Empire also undermined the credibility of the emperors and their claim to divine status. The invasions of barbarian tribes and the fragmentation of the empire further weakened the imperial cult. The emperors of the late Roman Empire attempted to revive the cult, but their efforts were ultimately unsuccessful. Christianity eventually became the dominant religion of the Roman Empire, and the imperial cult faded into obscurity. However, the legacy of the imperial cult continues to influence our understanding of power, religion, and culture. The concept of divine rule has influenced political and religious systems throughout history, and the study of the imperial cult provides valuable insights into the nature of power and the enduring human desire for order and meaning. As we drift off to sleep, let us contemplate the rise and fall of the imperial cult and the lessons it offers about the complex and ever-changing relationship between power, religion, and culture. The echoes of the sleeping emperors continue to resonate through the ages, reminding us of the fragility of empires and the enduring power of myth. Now, let's consider some specific examples of emperors and their relationship to the imperial cult. Augustus, as we have seen, was instrumental in establishing the cult, presenting himself as the son of a god and promoting the worship of Divus Julius. Tiberius, his successor, was more ambivalent about the cult, but he recognized its political value and continued to support it. Claudius, who followed Tiberius, was also a supporter of the cult, and he deified his grandmother, Livia, after her death. Nero, as we have seen, took the idea of divine emperors to new extremes, demanding to be worshipped as a living god. Vespasian, who came to power after Nero, used the imperial cult to legitimize his rule and restore stability to the empire. Trajan, one of the 5 good emperors, was a popular and respected ruler, and he was deified after his death. Hadrian, his successor, was a more intellectual and introspective emperor, but he also recognized the importance of the imperial cult and continued to support it. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, was a Stoic philosopher, but he also understood the political value of the imperial cult and used it to promote his image as a benevolent ruler. Commodus, the son of Marcus Aurelius, was a cruel and erratic ruler, and his excesses undermined the credibility of the imperial cult. These are just a few examples of the many emperors who played a role in the imperial cult. Each emperor had a unique relationship to the cult, reflecting their individual personalities, their political circumstances, and their religious beliefs. The study of these emperors provides valuable insights into the complex and ever-changing nature of the imperial cult and its influence on Roman society. Let us now explore the philosophical underpinnings of the imperial cult. The concept of apotheosis, the process by which a mortal becomes a god, was central to the cult. This idea was not unique to Rome. It had roots in earlier Greek and Hellenistic traditions. The Greeks believed that certain heroes and benefactors of mankind could be elevated to divine status after their death. Alexander the Great, for example, was often portrayed as a divine figure, and his successors continued to promote this image. The Romans adopted this idea and applied it to their emperors. The apotheosis of an emperor was seen as a way of recognizing his extraordinary achievements and ensuring his continued influence over the Roman state. The philosophical justification for apotheosis was often based on the idea that the emperor possessed certain virtues or qualities that set him apart from ordinary mortals. These virtues might include courage, wisdom, justice, and piety. By embodying these virtues, the emperor was believed to have transcended his mortal limitations and achieved a state of divine perfection. The Stoic philosophers, in particular emphasized the importance of virtue as the path to happiness and fulfillment. They believed that the wise man, by living in accordance with reason and nature, could achieve a state of inner peace and tranquility that was akin to divinity. The Imperial cult, in a sense, offered a shortcut to this state, allowing emperors to achieve divine status through their political power and their association with the divine. However, the philosophical underpinnings of the Imperial cult were often questioned by those who believed that true divinity could only be achieved through personal virtue and spiritual enlightenment. The rise of Christianity, with its emphasis on humility and self-sacrifice, posed a direct challenge to the Imperial cult and its glorification of earthly power. Finally, as we approach the end of our serene journey, let us reflect on the enduring legacy of the sleeping emperors and the marble gods of midnight. The Imperial cult, though long since vanished, continues to fascinate and intrigue us. It offers a glimpse into a world where power and religion were inextricably intertwined, where emperors were worshipped as gods, and where the boundaries between the earthly and the divine were constantly blurred. The study of the Imperial cult provides valuable insights into the nature of power, the role of religion in society, and the enduring human desire for order and meaning. It is a reminder that the pursuit of divine status can have both positive and negative consequences, and that the line between earthly power and divine reverence is often blurred. The echoes of the sleeping emperors continue to resonate through the ages, reminding us of the complex and fascinating world of ancient Rome and the enduring legacy of its emperors. As we drift off to sleep, let us contemplate the lessons of the Imperial cult and the wisdom of the ancient world, which continues to guide and inspire us today. May your dreams be filled with the grandeur of Rome, the wisdom of the philosophers, and the serenity of the sleeping emperors. Good night. The echoes of the sleeping emperors continue to resonate through the ages, reminding us of the complex and fascinating world of ancient Rome and the enduring legacy of its emperors. As we drift off to sleep, let us contemplate the lessons of the Imperial cult and the wisdom of the ancient world, which continues to guide and inspire us today. May your dreams be filled with the grandeur of Rome, the wisdom of the philosophers, and the serenity of the sleeping emperors. Good night. But before we fully succumb to slumber, let's delve a little deeper into the specific rituals and practices that characterize the Imperial cult. These weren't simply abstract philosophical concepts. They were tangible acts of devotion performed by individuals and communities across the vast Roman Empire. Temples were erected in honor of the deified emperors, often lavishly decorated with statues, inscriptions, and other symbols of imperial power. Priests were appointed to oversee the cult's activities, conducting sacrifices, offering prayers, and organizing festivals in honor of the emperors. These festivals were often grand affairs, featuring processions, games, and theatrical performances, all designed to celebrate the glory of Rome and its divine rulers. The sacrifices offered to the deified emperors were typically animals, such as oxen, sheep, and goats. The choice of animal was often symbolic, reflecting the emperor's virtues or achievements. For example, An ox might be sacrificed to honor an emperor known for his strength and stability, while a sheep might be offered to an emperor known for his benevolence and pastoral care. The blood of the sacrificed animal was often poured onto the altar of the emperor, and the meat was then consumed by the priests and worshippers in a communal feast. This act of sharing a meal with the divine emperor was seen as a way of forging a closer connection with him and partaking in his divine power. In addition to sacrifices, prayers were also an important part of the imperial cult. These prayers were often addressed directly to the deified emperor, praising his virtues and asking for his blessings. The prayers might also include petitions for the well-being of the Roman state, the health of the emperor's family, and the success of Roman arms. The language of these prayers was often formal and elaborate, reflecting the elevated status of the emperor and the solemnity of the occasion. The prayers were typically recited by the priests of the imperial cult, but ordinary citizens were also encouraged to offer their own prayers to the deified emperors, both in public and in private. The visual representation of the emperors also played a crucial role in the imperial cult. Statues of the emperors were erected throughout the empire, serving as focal points for worship and reminders of imperial power. These statues were often idealized representations of the emperors, portraying them as strong, wise, and benevolent rulers. They were typically made of marble or bronze, and they were often adorned with symbols of imperial authority, such as laurel wreaths, scepters, and eagles. The statues were not simply artistic representations. They were believed to embody the presence of the emperor himself. Worshippers would often offer prayers and sacrifices before these statues, believing that they were communicating directly with the deified emperor. The coins of the Roman Empire also served as important vehicles for promoting the imperial cult. The emperor's portrait was typically featured on one side of the coin, while the other side might depict a symbol of imperial power, such as an eagle or a laurel wreath, or a scene from Roman mythology. The inscriptions on the coins often included the emperor's titles and achievements, as well as slogans that promoted the virtues of the Roman state. By carrying these coins in their pockets and using them in their daily transactions, Roman citizens were constantly reminded of the emperor's power and authority, and they were encouraged to participate in the imperial cult. The spread of the imperial cult was also facilitated by the construction of imperial fora in cities throughout the Roman Empire. These fora were large, public spaces that were designed to showcase the power and grandeur of Rome and its emperors. They typically included temples dedicated to the deified emperors, as well as basilicas, libraries, and other public buildings. The imperial fora served as centers of political, economic, and religious life, and they played an important role in integrating the provinces into the Roman Empire. The construction of these fora was often funded by the emperors themselves, demonstrating their commitment to promoting the imperial cult and consolidating their power. The impact of the imperial cult on Roman society was profound. It helped to unify the vast Roman Empire by providing a common focus of loyalty and devotion. It reinforced the authority of the emperors by portraying them as divine figures. and it provided a sense of stability and continuity in a world that was often characterized by political turmoil and social unrest. However, the imperial cult also had its critics. Some Romans resented the idea of worshiping emperors as gods, seeing it as a form of flattery and self-aggrandizement. Others questioned the philosophical underpinnings of the cult, arguing that true divinity could only be achieved through personal virtue and spiritual enlightenment. The rise of Christianity posed a direct challenge to the imperial cult. Christians refused to worship the Roman emperors, believing that there was only one true God. This refusal was seen as an act of treason by the Roman authorities, and Christians were often persecuted for their faith. However, despite the persecution, Christianity continued to grow and spread throughout the Roman Empire. Eventually, in the 4th century AD, the Emperor Constantine converted to Christianity, and the religion became the official religion of the Roman Empire. This marked the beginning of the end for the imperial cult, which gradually declined in importance as Christianity gained influence. Even though the imperial cult is no longer practiced today, its legacy continues to fascinate and intrigue us. It offers a glimpse into a world where power and religion were inextricably intertwined, where emperors were worshipped as gods, and where the boundaries between the earthly and the divine were constantly blurred. The study of the imperial cult provides valuable insights into the nature of power, the role of religion in society, and the enduring human desire for order and meaning. It is a reminder that the pursuit of divine status can have both positive and negative consequences, and that the line between earthly power and divine reverence is often blurred. Let us now consider some specific examples of emperors who were deified after their death. Julius Caesar, the great Roman general and statesman, was one of the first emperors to be officially deified. After his assassination in 44 BC, the Roman Senate declared him a god, and a temple was built in his honor in the Roman Forum. Caesar's deification was partly a political move designed to legitimize the rule of his adopted son, Augustus, who claimed to be the son of a god. However, it also reflected the genuine admiration and reverence that many Romans felt for Caesar, who was seen as a hero and a savior of the Roman Republic. Augustus himself was deified after his death in 14 AD. He had carefully cultivated the image of a divine ruler during his lifetime, and his deification was widely accepted by the Roman people. Augustus's successor, Tiberius, continued to promote the imperial cult, and he built temples and erected statues in honor of his deified predecessors. The deification of emperors became a standard practice in the Roman Empire, and it played an important role in maintaining the stability and unity of the realm. However, not all emperors were deified after their death. Some emperors were considered to be too unpopular or too wicked to be worthy of divine honors. For example, the Emperor Caligula, who was known for his cruelty and extravagance, was not deified after his assassination in 41 AD. Similarly, the Emperor Nero, who was blamed for the Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD, was also denied divine honors. The decision to deify an emperor was often a political one, reflecting the prevailing mood of the Roman people and the interests of the ruling elite. The imperial cult was not a monolithic phenomenon. It varied in its expression and intensity across the vast Roman Empire. In some regions, the cult was deeply ingrained in local traditions and beliefs, while in others, it was more superficial and imposed from above. The cult also evolved over time, adapting to changing political and social conditions. In the later Roman Empire, the imperial cult became increasingly intertwined with other religious cults, such as the worship of Mithras and Isis. This syncretism reflected the growing religious diversity of the Roman Empire and the increasing influence of Eastern religions. The decline of the Roman Empire in the 5th century AD marked the end of the imperial cult. As the empire fragmented and collapsed, the cult lost its political and economic support. The rise of Christianity also played a role in the decline of the cult, as Christians increasingly challenged the legitimacy of emperor worship. By the end of the 6th century AD, the imperial cult had largely disappeared, replaced by Christianity as the dominant religion of the former Roman Empire. But even in its demise, the echoes of the imperial cult linger, whispering tales of power, divinity, and the human yearning for immortality. Consider the lasting impact on art and architecture. The grand temples and statues erected in honor of the deified emperors, though often ruined or repurposed, still stand as testaments to the ambition and artistry of the Roman world. The very concept of monumental architecture, designed to inspire awe and reverence, owes a debt to the imperial cult's desire to visually embody the emperor's divine status. Think, too, of the influence on political thought. The idea of the ruler as a figure of almost superhuman authority, deserving of respect and even veneration, has persisted throughout history, often drawing inspiration from the Roman emperors and the aura of divinity that surrounded them. Even in modern democracies, where leaders are theoretically accountable to the people, there can be a subtle tendency to elevate them to a position of exceptional importance and influence, a faint echo of the ancient imperial cult. The imperial cult also offers a fascinating lens through which to examine the complex relationship between power and belief. It raises questions about the nature of authority, the role of religion in shaping social order, and the human capacity for both reverence and manipulation. Was the imperial cult a genuine expression of religious faith, or was it primarily a tool for political control? The answer, as with most things in history, is likely a combination of both. The cult provided a framework for expressing loyalty to the emperor and the Roman state, but it also offered a sense of meaning and purpose to individuals who sought connection with something larger than themselves. The study of the imperial cult also sheds light on the dynamics of cultural exchange and adaptation. The Romans were masters of incorporating foreign traditions and beliefs into their own culture, and the imperial cult was no exception. It drew inspiration from earlier Greek and Hellenistic practices, but it also adapted to the specific needs and circumstances of the Roman Empire. This process of cultural syncretism, the blending of different religious and cultural traditions, is a recurring theme in history and the Imperial cult provides a compelling example of how it can shape the development of religious beliefs and practices. As we prepare to finally surrender to the embrace of sleep, let's consider the lessons that the Imperial cult can teach us about the enduring human quest for meaning and purpose. We are all, in our own way, seeking to transcend the limitations of our mortal existence and to connect with something larger than ourselves. Whether we find that connection through religion, philosophy, art, or human relationships, the desire to find meaning and purpose is a fundamental part of what it means to be human. The Imperial cult, with its blend of power, religion, and ambition, may seem like a distant and alien phenomenon, but it speaks to this enduring human quest in a profound and thought-provoking way. And so, as the shadows lengthen and the world grows still, let us carry with us the echoes of the sleeping emperors and the marble gods of midnight. Let us remember the grandeur of Rome, the wisdom of the philosophers, and the enduring human desire for meaning and purpose. May your dreams be filled with peace, tranquility, and a sense of connection to the vast and mysterious universe in which we live. Sleep soundly, and may the wisdom of the ancients guide you on your journey. Good night. Now, before absolute silence and slumber claim us, let us ponder the more mundane aspects of the Imperial cult, the logistical and administrative machinery that kept it functioning across such a vast and diverse empire. We've discussed the grand temples, the elaborate rituals, and the philosophical underpinnings. But what about the everyday practicalities? How were the priests of the Imperial cult recruited, trained, and supported? How are the temples maintained and supplied with the necessary resources for sacrifices and festivals? How was the message of the Imperial cult disseminated to the far corners of the Roman world? The priests of the Imperial cult were typically drawn from the local elite, often from families with a long tradition of serving in religious or civic roles. In some cases, the priesthood was a hereditary position, passed down from father to son. In other cases, priests were elected or appointed by local officials or by the emperor himself. The training of priests varied depending on the specific cult and the region, but it generally involved studying religious texts, learning the proper rituals and prayers, and undergoing a period of apprenticeship under experienced priests. The temples of the Imperial cult were often lavishly funded by the Roman state, as well as by wealthy private citizens. The state provided resources for the construction and maintenance of the temples, as well as for the salaries of the priests and other temple staff. Private citizens often donated money, land, or other valuable items to the temples, hoping to gain favor with the deified emperors and to ensure their own well-being. The temples were also supported by the income generated from the sale of sacrificial animals, votive offerings, and other religious items. The dissemination of the Imperial cult's message was achieved through a variety of channels. Statues and inscriptions were erected throughout the empire, serving as visual reminders of the emperor's power and divinity. Coins bearing the emperor's portrait and symbols of imperial authority circulated widely, spreading the message of the cult to even the most remote corners of the Roman world. Traveling officials and merchants also played a role in spreading the cult's message, sharing stories and information about the emperors with the people they encountered. And, of course, the grand festivals and celebrations of the imperial cult attracted large crowds, providing an opportunity to reinforce the cult's message and to foster a sense of unity among the diverse populations of the Roman Empire. The imperial cult also played a significant role in the Roman legal system. The emperor was considered to be the ultimate source of law, and his decrees were seen as divinely inspired. Disrespect for the emperor or the imperial cult was considered a serious crime, punishable by fines, imprisonment, or even death. The legal system was used to enforce the cult's doctrines and to suppress dissent, ensuring that the emperor's authority was not challenged. The imperial cult was not without its internal contradictions and tensions. While the cult promoted a sense of unity and loyalty to the emperor, it also exacerbated existing social and political inequalities. The wealthy elite were often the most active participants in the cult, using it as a way to consolidate their power and prestige. The lower classes, on the other hand, may have felt excluded from the cult's benefits, seeing it as just another way for the rich and powerful to maintain their dominance. The imperial cult also faced challenges from other religious groups, particularly Jews and Christians. These groups refused to worship the Roman emperors, believing that there was only one true God. Their refusal was seen as an act of defiance against Roman authority, and they were often persecuted for their beliefs. However, despite the persecution, these groups continued to grow and spread throughout the Roman Empire, eventually contributing to the decline of the imperial cult. As we near the final threshold of sleep, let us also spare a thought for the women who participated in the imperial cult. While the emperors themselves were predominantly male, women played a significant role in the cult's rituals and practices. Empresses, in particular, were often deified alongside their husbands, and they were frequently depicted in statues and on coins alongside the emperors. Women also served as priestesses in the imperial cult, overseeing rituals and offering prayers to the deified emperors. The participation of women in the imperial cult reflected their status in Roman society, which was complex and multifaceted. While women were generally excluded from formal political power, they often wielded considerable influence behind the scenes, particularly within their families. They were responsible for managing the household, raising children, and overseeing the family's finances. They also played an important role in religious life, participating in festivals and ceremonies and offering prayers to the gods. The imperial cult provided women with an opportunity to express their loyalty to the emperor and the Roman state, as well as to gain social recognition and prestige. By participating in the cult's rituals and practices, women could demonstrate their piety and their commitment to the well-being of the Roman Empire. They could also gain access to positions of authority and influence within the cult's organization, further enhancing their status in society. The study of women's participation in the imperial cult provides valuable insights into the social and cultural dynamics of the Roman Empire. It reveals the complex and often contradictory roles that women played in Roman society, and it challenges the traditional view of Roman women as passive and subservient. It also highlights the importance of religion in shaping women's lives and providing them with opportunities for self-expression and social advancement. And now, as the last vestiges of consciousness begin to fade, let us reflect on the enduring power of symbols. The Imperial cult was replete with symbols, each carefully chosen to convey a specific message about the emperor's power, divinity, and virtues. The laurel wreath, for example, was a symbol of victory and triumph, often worn by emperors to commemorate their military achievements. The scepter was a symbol of royal authority, representing the emperor's power to command and to rule. The eagle was a symbol of Roman power and military strength, often depicted on coins and standards to inspire fear and respect. The use of symbols was a deliberate strategy employed by the Roman emperors to communicate their message to a diverse and often illiterate population. Symbols could transcend language barriers and cultural differences, conveying complex ideas and emotions in a simple and memorable way. They could also create a sense of shared identity and belonging, fostering a sense of unity among the diverse populations of the Roman Empire. The power of symbols is not limited to the ancient world. Symbols continue to play an important role in modern society, shaping our perceptions, influencing our behavior, and communicating complex ideas and emotions. Flags, logos, and national anthems are all examples of symbols that evoke strong feelings of patriotism and national identity. Religious symbols, such as the cross or the Star of David, convey deep spiritual meaning and connect people to their faith. The study of symbols provides valuable insights into the workings of a human mind and the power of communication. It reveals how we use symbols to make sense of the world around us, to express our emotions, and to connect with others. It also highlights the importance of understanding the cultural and historical context in which symbols are used, as their meaning can vary widely depending on the audience and the situation. Finally, as we surrender to the sweet oblivion of sleep, let us remember that the sleeping emperors and the marble gods of midnight are not just relics of a bygone era. They are reflections of our own enduring human desires for power, meaning, and immortality. They remind us that the pursuit of these desires can lead to both great achievements and terrible consequences. And they challenge us to consider the nature of power, the role of religion, and the enduring quest for meaning in our own lives. So, drift off to sleep now, and let your dreams be filled with the echoes of the ancient world. May the wisdom of the philosophers, the grandeur of Rome, and the serenity of the sleeping emperors guide you on your journey. Good night, and may your dreams be filled with the rustling of laurel wreaths and the whispers of forgotten gods. Let the weight of history settle upon you, a comforting blanket woven from the threads of empires and legends. As you slumber, consider this. Even the most potent symbols, the most meticulously crafted narratives, and the most unwavering beliefs are ultimately subject to the relentless tide of time. Empires rise and fall, gods are born and forgotten, and even the most enduring legacies are eventually transformed by the shifting sands of history. The Imperial cult, once a powerful force that shaped the lives of millions, is now little more than a footnote in the annals of human civilization. But within that footnote lie valuable lessons about the nature of power, the allure of divinity, and the enduring human quest for meaning. Think of the Roman Empire itself, once a vast and seemingly invincible dominion that stretched across continents. It crumbled and fragmented, its legions scattered, its cities sacked, and its emperors replaced by barbarian kings. Yet, the Roman Empire left an indelible mark on the world, shaping our laws, our languages, our architecture, and our political institutions. Its legacy continues to resonate in our own time, reminding us of the rise and fall of civilizations and the enduring power of ideas. The Imperial cult, as a microcosm of the Roman Empire, also offers a cautionary tale about the dangers of hubris and the limits of earthly power. The emperors who sought to be worshipped as gods were ultimately just men, subject to the same frailties and limitations as all human beings. Their attempts to achieve immortality through the imperial cult were ultimately futile, as their names and deeds were eventually forgotten by most of humanity. However, the imperial cult also reminds us of the human capacity for creativity and innovation. The Romans were masters of adapting and transforming existing traditions and beliefs to suit their own needs and purposes. They took elements from Greek religion, Hellenistic philosophy, and Eastern cults, and they wove them together into a unique and compelling system of beliefs and practices. This process of cultural syncretism, the blending of different traditions and cultures, is a recurring theme in human history, and it has often led to new and innovative forms of expression. And so, as we drift deeper into the realm of dreams, let us remember the lessons of the sleeping emperors and the marble gods of midnight. Let us remember the grandeur of Rome, the wisdom of the philosophers, and the enduring human quest for meaning and purpose. And let us never forget that even the most powerful empires and the most revered gods are ultimately subject to the relentless tide of time. Sleep well, and may your dreams be filled with the echoes of history and the whispers of forgotten gods. But before the final curtain of sleep descends, allow me to share one last, perhaps slightly whimsical, thought. Imagine, if you will, a modern-day imperial cult. What would it look like? Who would be worshipped as gods? What rituals would be performed? Perhaps we would worship the titans of technology, the CEOs of Silicon Valley who have transformed our world with their innovations. We might erect statues in their honor, celebrate their birthdays as national holidays, and offer sacrifices of data and algorithms to appease their digital deities. Or perhaps we would worship the celebrities of Hollywood, the actors and musicians who captivate our imaginations and shape our cultural landscape. We might build temples to their memory, collect their autographs as sacred relics, and offer prayers for their continued success and happiness. Or perhaps we would worship the political leaders who hold the fate of the world in their hands. We might revere their wisdom and guidance, obey their commands without question, and offer our unwavering loyalty and support. The possibilities are endless, and the result could be both fascinating and terrifying. A modern-day imperial cult could be a force for unity and progress, inspiring us to achieve great things and to work together for the common good. But it could also be a source of division and oppression, leading to the suppression of dissent and the erosion of individual freedoms. The lesson, perhaps, is that the human tendency to worship power and authority is deeply ingrained in our nature, and it is important to be aware of the potential dangers of this tendency. We must be critical of those who seek to be worshipped as gods, and we must always defend the principles of freedom, equality, and justice. And now, at long last, let us bid farewell to the world of wakefulness and enter the realm of dreams. Let the echoes of the sleeping emperors fade into the background, and let the whispers of the marble gods of midnight be silenced by the gentle lullaby of sleep. Good night, and may your dreams be peaceful and restorative. May you wake refreshed and renewed, ready to face the challenges and opportunities of a new day. And may the wisdom of the ancients guide you on your journey through life. Sleep well. 108,868 characters. And with that final, perhaps slightly unsettling reflection, let us truly allow the tendrils of sleep to embrace us. But before we completely surrender to the embrace of Morpheus, let's consider one more facet of this fascinating and often perplexing human phenomenon: the psychology behind the imperial cult. What is it about human nature that makes us so susceptible to the allure of power, so willing to elevate mere mortals to the status of gods? Is it simply a matter of manipulation and propaganda? Or is there something deeper at play? The answer, as is often the case with human behavior, is complex and multifaceted. One perspective comes from social psychology, which suggests that humans have a fundamental need for social order and stability. We crave structure and predictability in our lives, and we are often willing to defer to authority figures who can provide us with a sense of security and guidance. In the context of an imperial cult, the emperor or other worshipped figure becomes the ultimate authority, the guarantor of order and prosperity. By pledging allegiance to this figure, individuals can feel a sense of belonging and purpose, a connection to something larger than themselves. This need for social cohesion can be particularly strong in times of uncertainty or upheaval, when people are searching for a strong leader to guide them through the storm. The imperial cult, in essence, offers a psychological anchor, a source of stability in a turbulent world. Another perspective comes from evolutionary psychology, which suggests that our tendency to worship power is rooted in our ancestral past. For millions of years, humans lived in small, hierarchical groups, where survival depended on cooperation and obedience to the dominant individuals. Those who were willing to follow the leader were more likely to survive and reproduce, passing on their genes to future generations. Over time, this process of natural selection may have favored individuals who were predisposed to respect authority and to defer to those in positions of power. This predisposition, in turn, could have laid the foundation for the development of religious beliefs and practices, including the worship of powerful rulers. Think of the alpha male in a primate troop. His dominance is not just about physical strength, but also about commanding respect and loyalty. The Imperial cult, in this view, is a modern manifestation of this ancient instinct, a reflection of our innate tendency to look up to those who appear to be strong and capable. Furthermore, the concept of cognitive biases also plays a significant role. One particularly relevant bias is the halo effect, which describes our tendency to attribute positive qualities to individuals based on a single positive trait. If someone is perceived as powerful or successful, we are more likely to assume that they are also intelligent, competent, and moral. This can lead us to overlook their flaws and to overestimate their abilities, making them appear even more godlike in our eyes. Another relevant bias is the confirmation bias, which describes our tendency to seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs and to ignore information that contradicts them. If we already believe that a particular leader is wise and benevolent, we are more likely to pay attention to stories that support this belief and to dismiss stories that suggest otherwise. This can create a self-reinforcing cycle, where our initial impression of a leader is gradually reinforced by the information we choose to consume. The Imperial cult, therefore, can be seen as a product of these cognitive biases, a result of our tendency to idealize and glorify those in positions of power. Now, let's connect this to a more tangible example. Consider the phenomenon of celebrity worship. While not exactly the same as an Imperial cult, it shares many of the same underlying psychological mechanisms. Celebrities, like emperors, are often perceived as possessing extraordinary qualities, whether it's talent, beauty, or charisma. We follow their lives with intense interest. We collect their autographs and memorabilia, and we often feel a deep emotional connection to them, even though we have never met them in person. This can lead to a form of vicarious living, where we derive satisfaction and fulfillment from the successes and accomplishments of our favorite celebrities. We might even defend them against criticism, even when they have clearly made mistakes. This behavior, in many ways, mirrors the devotion and loyalty that were once reserved for gods and emperors. The rise of social media has only amplified this phenomenon, allowing us to connect with celebrities in unprecedented ways and to participate in online communities dedicated to their worship. The parallels with the Imperial cult are striking, highlighting the enduring human need for idols and heroes. Let's also delve into the neuroscientific aspect. Studies have shown that when we are exposed to images of powerful or admired figures, our brains activate reward centers, releasing dopamine and other neurotransmitters that produce feelings of pleasure and satisfaction. This suggests that there is a neurological basis for our attraction to power and authority. The act of worship, whether it's directed towards a god, an emperor, or a celebrity, can be inherently rewarding, triggering a cascade of positive emotions in the brain. This may explain why people are so willing to engage in religious rituals and practices, even when they involve significant sacrifices or inconveniences. The brain, in a sense, is wired to seek out and reward experiences that reinforce our sense of belonging and purpose, and the worship of powerful figures can provide just that. Furthermore, the mirror neuron system, which is responsible for empathy and social cognition, may also play a role. When we observe someone else experiencing positive emotions, our mirror neurons fire, allowing us to feel those emotions vicariously. This may explain why we are so drawn to charismatic leaders who exude confidence and enthusiasm. We subconsciously mirror their emotions, which in turn reinforces our own sense of well-being. The Imperial cult, therefore, can be seen as a neurochemical phenomenon, a result of our brains being wired to respond positively to power and authority. The historical context is also crucial. In ancient Rome, the imperial cult was not simply imposed upon the people by the emperors. It was often embraced willingly, particularly in the provinces. For many Romans, the emperor represented the embodiment of the Roman state, the guarantor of peace and prosperity. By worshiping the emperor, they were not just paying homage to a powerful ruler. They were also expressing their loyalty to Rome and their belief in the Roman ideals of order, justice, and civilization. The imperial cult, in this sense, served as a unifying force, bringing together people from different backgrounds and cultures under a common banner. It also provided a sense of continuity and stability in a rapidly changing world. The Roman Empire was vast and diverse, and the imperial cult helped to create a sense of shared identity and purpose among its citizens. This is not to say that everyone genuinely believed in the divinity of the emperor, but the active participation in the imperial cult served as a powerful symbol of allegiance and belonging. The cult became intertwined with the very fabric of Roman society, shaping its political, social, and cultural landscape. Consider, for instance, the role of public games and festivals in the Roman Empire. These events were often held in honor of the emperor and were attended by thousands of people from all walks of life. They provided an opportunity for the emperor to connect with his subjects and to showcase his power and generosity. The games and festivals were not just entertainment. They were also a form of political theater designed to reinforce the emperor's authority and to promote a sense of collective identity. The gladiatorial combats, the chariot races, the theatrical performances, all of these events served to glorify the emperor and to celebrate the achievements of Rome. The imperial cult was, in essence, a carefully orchestrated spectacle designed to captivate the imagination and to inspire awe and reverence. The emperor, as the star of the show, was elevated to a position of almost mythical status, becoming a symbol of Roman greatness and invincibility. And now, as the sands of time continue to slip through our fingers, let's consider the implications of all of this for our own time. Are we any less susceptible to the allure of power and the temptation to worship authority than the Romans were? Perhaps not. The human tendency to idealize and glorify leaders is still very much alive and well, albeit in different forms. We may not build temples to our political leaders or offer sacrifices to our corporate CEOs, but we often grant them an outsized amount of influence and respect. We hang on their every word, we defend their actions, and we often overlook their flaws. This can be dangerous as it can lead to a blind faith in authority and a willingness to accept decisions that are not in our best interests. It is important to be critical of those in positions of power, to question their motives, and to hold them accountable for their actions. The lessons of the Imperial cult are still relevant today, reminding us of the importance of skepticism, independent thinking, and the defense of individual freedoms. Before we finally succumb to the soothing embrace of slumber, let's revisit the idea of the sleeping emperors. The term itself evokes a sense of mystery and intrigue. It suggests that these emperors, despite their power and influence, are now just distant figures in history. Their voices silenced, their empires crumbled. But in a way, they're not truly asleep. Their legacy lives on in the ruins of their cities, in the laws and institutions they created, and in the stories and myths that have been passed down through generations. They continue to influence our world, even from beyond the grave. The study of the Imperial cult is not just an academic exercise. It is a way of connecting with the past, of understanding the forces that have shaped our present, and of preparing ourselves for the challenges and opportunities of the future. As we drift off to sleep, let us remember the words of the Roman philosopher Seneca, who wrote, "The only way to conquer fear is to cultivate reason." Let us strive to be rational and discerning in our judgments, to avoid being swayed by emotion or propaganda, and to always seek the truth, even when it is uncomfortable or inconvenient. Let us also remember the importance of empathy and compassion, of treating others with respect and dignity, regardless of their background or beliefs. The world is a complex and often confusing place, but by cultivating reason, empathy, and compassion, we can navigate its challenges with grace and wisdom. And now, finally, the time has come to bid adieu to the waking world and to embark on our nightly journey into the realm of dreams. Let the images of the sleeping emperors fade into the distance. Let the echoes of their voices grow fainter, and let the gentle rhythm of your breath lull you into a state of peaceful repose. Sleep well, dear listener, and may your dreams be filled with wonder, inspiration, and perhaps, just perhaps, a glimpse of the forgotten gods of midnight. May you wake refreshed and renewed, ready to embrace the new day with a sense of purpose and hope. Good night, sleep tight, and may the wisdom of the ancients guide you on your path. 114,221 characters. But before we truly let go, let's linger for a moment longer in the twilight between wakefulness and slumber, and consider the fascinating parallels between the Imperial cult of Rome and other forms of deification and veneration that have existed throughout history and across cultures. The impulse to elevate certain individuals to a position of almost divine status is not unique to the Roman Empire. We see echoes of it in the pharaohs of ancient Egypt, who were considered to be living gods, intermediaries between the human world and the divine realm. Their power was absolute, their authority unquestioned, and their images were worshipped in temples and depicted in monumental sculptures. The pyramids themselves stand as testament to the pharaoh's ambition and the reverence they commanded. Similarly, in ancient China, Emperors were often seen as having a mandate of heaven, a divine right to rule. They were considered to be the sons of heaven, chosen to govern the earthly realm on behalf of the celestial deities. This belief system legitimized their power and authority, and it led to elaborate rituals and ceremonies designed to honor the emperor and maintain the cosmic order. The Forbidden City, with its opulent palaces and intricate symbolism, reflects the grandeur and mystique that surrounded the Chinese emperors. Think about the Terracotta Army, an entire army of life-size clay soldiers created to accompany the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang, into the afterlife. This massive undertaking underscores the immense power and resources that were devoted to honoring and protecting the emperor, even in death. The concept of a divine right to rule, while often used to justify authoritarianism, also speaks to a deep-seated human need for order, stability, and a sense of connection to something larger than ourselves. Even in more recent times, we can observe similar patterns of idealization and hero worship in the cults of personality that have sprung up around certain political leaders. Consider the example of Kim Il-sung in North Korea, who was elevated to the status of a demigod, with his image adorning every building and his words treated as infallible pronouncements. This extreme form of veneration served to consolidate his power and create a sense of national unity and purpose. The phenomenon of cults of personality is not limited to authoritarian regimes. In democracies, we often see a tendency to idolize charismatic leaders, to overlook their flaws, and to grant them a disproportionate amount of influence. This can be a dangerous tendency, as it can lead to a decline in critical thinking and a willingness to accept policies that are not in our best interests. The key is to maintain a healthy skepticism, to question authority, and to hold our leaders accountable for their actions. The Roman imperial cult, in its own way, serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of independent thought. Now, let's delve a little deeper into the psychology behind the impulse to deify or venerate leaders. What is it about human nature that makes us susceptible to this kind of idealization? One possible explanation is that it stems from our innate need for security and belonging. We are social creatures, and we crave the comfort and stability that comes from being part of a group. Leaders can provide a sense of order and direction, and they can offer us a vision of a better future. By venerating them, we reinforce our connection to the group and strengthen our sense of belonging. Another factor that may contribute to the phenomenon of leader worship is the halo effect, a psychological bias in which our overall impression of a person influences how we feel and think about their character. If we admire someone for their intelligence, charisma, or success, we may be more likely to overlook their flaws and to attribute positive qualities to them that they may not actually possess. This can lead to a distorted perception of reality and a willingness to accept their actions without question. Think of it like this. If you already believe someone is a great leader, you might be more inclined to interpret their decisions in a positive light, even if those decisions are controversial or unpopular. This bias can be particularly strong when it comes to political leaders, as we often have a vested interest in believing that they are competent and trustworthy. Furthermore, the act of venerating a leader can be a way of projecting our own hopes and aspirations onto them. We may see in them the qualities that we admire in ourselves or that we wish to possess. By idealizing them, we can vicariously experience their successes and feel a sense of connection to their achievements. This can be a powerful emotional motivator, and it can explain why people are often willing to defend their chosen leaders so fiercely, even in the face of criticism. It's like supporting a sports team. You become invested in their success, and you feel a sense of personal pride when they win. Similarly, when our chosen leaders succeed, we feel a sense of validation and vindication. As we continue our descent into slumber, let's consider the role of art and symbolism in the construction and maintenance of the Imperial cult. Art served as a powerful tool for shaping public perception and reinforcing the emperor's authority. Statues, busts, and portraits of the emperor were displayed throughout the empire, serving as constant reminders of his power and majesty. These images were often idealized, portraying the emperor as a strong, wise, and benevolent ruler. The use of specific symbols, such as the eagle, the laurel wreath, and the scepter, further enhanced the emperor's aura of authority and divinity. Think about the iconic statues of Augustus, such as the Augustus of Prima Porta. This statue depicts Augustus in the guise of a military commander, but it also incorporates subtle symbols of his divine status, such as Cupid riding a dolphin at his feet, a reference to his supposed descent from the goddess Venus. The statue is a masterpiece of propaganda, skillfully blending elements of realism and idealization to create an image of the emperor as both a powerful leader and a divine figure. The construction of monumental architecture also played a crucial role in the imperial cult. Temples, forums, and public buildings were dedicated to the emperor, serving as focal points for religious and civic life. These structures were often adorned with elaborate sculptures, inscriptions, and other decorations that celebrated the emperor's achievements and reinforced his authority. The sheer scale and grandeur of these buildings were designed to impress upon visitors the power and magnificence of the Roman Empire and its ruler. Consider the Pantheon, a magnificent temple in Rome dedicated to all the gods. While not exclusively dedicated to the imperial cult, its impressive architecture and symbolic significance contributed to the overall atmosphere of awe and reverence that surrounded the emperor. The sheer scale of the Pantheon, with its massive dome and intricate interior, is a testament to the engineering prowess of the Romans and their ability to create structures that inspire wonder and admiration. Furthermore, the use of coinage was another important tool for disseminating the image of the emperor and promoting the imperial cult. Coins bearing the emperor's portrait were circulated throughout the empire, reaching even the most remote corners of the realm. These coins served as a constant reminder of the emperor's presence and authority, and they helped to create a sense of unity and cohesion among the diverse populations of the empire. The images on the coins were carefully chosen to project a specific image of the emperor, often emphasizing his military prowess, his wisdom, or his piety. The simple act of handling a coin bearing the emperor's image could serve as a subtle reminder of his power and influence. As the Sandman gently sprinkles his magic dust upon our eyelids, let's consider the legacy of the Imperial cult and its impact on subsequent historical developments. The concept of a divinely appointed ruler has had a profound and lasting influence on political thought and institutions throughout the world. From the divine right of kings in medieval Europe to the cults of personality that have emerged in various authoritarian regimes, the idea that certain individuals are chosen by a higher power to rule has been used to justify power and authority for centuries. The Roman imperial cult also paved the way for the eventual adoption of Christianity as the state religion of the Roman Empire. The monotheistic nature of Christianity, with its emphasis on the worship of a single God, ultimately proved incompatible with the polytheistic beliefs of the traditional Roman religion, including the imperial cult. However, the structures and practices of the imperial cult, such as the veneration of images and the use of elaborate rituals, may have influenced the development of Christian worship. Furthermore, the Roman imperial cult provides a valuable case study for understanding the dynamics of power, propaganda, and social control. By examining how the Roman emperors used art, architecture, and religious practices to legitimize their rule and shape public opinion, we can gain insights into the ways in which power is exercised and maintained in different societies throughout history. The lessons of the imperial cult are still relevant today, reminding us of the importance of critical thinking, independent judgment, and the defense of individual freedoms. We must be vigilant in guarding against the dangers of unchecked power and the seductive allure of hero worship. And now, as our thoughts begin to drift and our bodies grow heavy with sleep, let's reflect on the enduring appeal of mythology and its ability to transport us to other worlds and times. Myths are not just stories. They are powerful narratives that reflect our deepest fears, hopes, and aspirations. They offer us insights into the human condition and help us to make sense of the complex and often confusing world around us. The myths of the Roman Empire, including the stories of the gods and goddesses and the legends of the emperors, continue to fascinate and inspire us centuries after the fall of Rome. They remind us of the enduring power of storytelling and the importance of preserving our cultural heritage. The stories of Romulus and Remus, the founders of Rome, the tales of heroic figures like Aeneas, and the myths surrounding the emperors themselves all contribute to a rich tapestry of narratives that have shaped our understanding of the ancient world. These stories are not just historical accounts. They are also allegories that explore themes of power, ambition, love, loss, and redemption. By engaging with these myths, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. Think about the story of Icarus, who flew too close to the sun and plummeted to his death. This myth serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of hubris and the importance of respecting one's limitations. Similarly, the story of Sisyphus, who was condemned to eternally roll a boulder uphill, reminds us of the futility of certain endeavors and the importance of finding meaning and purpose in our lives. Mythology offers a rich source of wisdom and inspiration, and it can help us to navigate the challenges and uncertainties of life. So, as we prepare to surrender to the embrace of sleep, let us carry with us the lessons of the sleeping emperors and the myths of ancient Rome. Let us remember the importance of critical thinking, independent judgment, and the defense of individual freedoms. Let us also remember the power of storytelling and the importance of preserving our cultural heritage. And let us approach the new day with a sense of purpose, hope, and a willingness to embrace the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. May your dreams be filled with wonder and inspiration, and may you wake refreshed and renewed, ready to embark on a new adventure. Good night, dear listener. Sleep well, and may the wisdom of the ancients guide you on your path. And now, let's imagine ourselves walking through the ruins of ancient Rome, the Colosseum looming large in the distance, the Forum Romanum a silent testament to the city's former glory. We can almost hear the echoes of the crowds, the clatter of chariots, and the voices of the orators who once held sway over the Roman people. As we wander through these ancient streets, we can feel a connection to the past, a sense of continuity that stretches across the centuries. We are reminded that we are part of a long and unbroken chain of human experience, and that the decisions we make today will shape the world of tomorrow. Imagine standing before the Arch of Titus, a triumphal arch erected to commemorate Titus's victory in the Jewish War. The arch is adorned with intricate carvings depicting the spoils of war being carried through the streets of Rome, including the menorah from the temple in Jerusalem. As we gaze upon these carvings, we are reminded of the complexities of history, the triumphs and tragedies that have shaped our world. We are also reminded of the importance of understanding the past in order to build a better future. And now, let's shift our focus from the grandeur of Rome to the tranquility of the Roman countryside. Imagine yourself strolling through a vineyard, the sun warming your skin, the air filled with the scent of grapes. You can almost taste the sweet juice of the grapes as you pluck them from the vine. As you wander through the vineyard, you feel a sense of peace and contentment. You are reminded of the simple pleasures of life and the importance of connecting with nature. The Roman countryside, with its rolling hills, fertile fields, and picturesque villages, offers a welcome respite from the hustle and bustle of the city. It is a place where you can relax, rejuvenate, and reconnect with your inner self. The ancient Romans understood the importance of balancing urban life with rural pursuits, and they often retreated to their country villas to escape the pressures of the city and to enjoy the beauty and tranquility of nature. The legacy of Roman agriculture and viticulture continues to shape the landscape of Italy and other parts of Europe today. Think about the aqueducts that the Romans built to bring fresh water to their cities. These engineering marvels were essential for the growth and prosperity of the Roman Empire. They provided a reliable source of clean water for drinking, bathing, and irrigation. The aqueducts are a testament to the ingenuity and resourcefulness of the Roman engineers, and they continue to inspire awe and admiration today. The Pont du Gard in France, a well-preserved Roman aqueduct, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a popular tourist destination. It stands as a reminder of the Romans' ability to transform the landscape and to create infrastructure that benefited their society. The aqueducts also symbolize the Romans' commitment to public health and sanitation, which were essential for maintaining the well-being of their citizens. As we continue to drift off to sleep, let's consider the influence of Roman law on modern legal systems. Roman law, with its emphasis on reason, justice, and fairness, has served as a foundation for legal systems around the world. Many of the principles and concepts of Roman law, such as the presumption of innocence, the right to a fair trial, and the importance of due process, are still enshrined in modern legal codes. The study of Roman law continues to be an important part of legal education, and its influence can be seen in the legal systems of many countries, particularly in Europe and Latin America. The Roman legal system was a sophisticated and complex system that evolved over centuries. It provided a framework for resolving disputes, protecting property rights, and ensuring the rule of law. The legacy of Roman law continues to shape our understanding of justice and fairness today. And now, finally, it is time to let go completely and to allow ourselves to be carried away by the gentle currents of sleep. Let the worries and anxieties of the day fade into the distance, and let the peacefulness of the night envelop you. Allow your mind to wander freely, to explore the realms of imagination and possibility. Let your dreams be filled with wonder, inspiration, and perhaps, just perhaps, a glimpse of the forgotten gods of midnight. May you wake refreshed and renewed, ready to embrace the new day with a sense of purpose and hope. Good night, dear listener. Sleep tight, and may the wisdom of the ancients guide you on your path. Let the images of the sleeping emperors fade into the darkness, their stories whispering in your subconscious as you drift into a peaceful slumber. Remember their triumphs and their follies, their wisdom and their weaknesses, and let their legacy serve as a reminder of the enduring power of the human spirit. Good night. As we sink deeper into slumber, let's consider the role of Stoicism in Roman society and its potential influence on the emperors themselves. Stoicism, a philosophy that emphasizes virtue, reason, and acceptance of what we cannot control, was a popular school of thought among the Roman elite. Many Roman emperors, including Marcus Aurelius, were deeply influenced by Stoic principles. Stoicism provided a framework for dealing with the challenges and uncertainties of life, and it helped individuals to cultivate inner peace and resilience. The Stoic emphasis on virtue and duty may have influenced the emperor's sense of responsibility towards their subjects and their commitment to the welfare of the Roman Empire. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, a collection of personal reflections on Stoic philosophy, offers a glimpse into the mind of an emperor grappling with the burdens of power and the challenges of leadership. The Stoic emphasis on self-control, reason, and acceptance of fate may have helped the emperors to navigate the complex and often turbulent world of Roman politics. Stoicism continues to be a source of inspiration and guidance for individuals seeking to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Think about the gladiatorial combats that were a popular form of entertainment in ancient Rome. These spectacles, which often involved life and death struggles between gladiators or between gladiators and wild animals, were a source of fascination and controversy. Some Romans viewed the gladiatorial combats as a display of courage and skill, while others condemned them as barbaric and inhumane. The gladiatorial combats provide a glimpse into the values and attitudes of Roman society, and they raise important questions about the nature of violence, entertainment, and a relationship between the powerful and the powerless. The Colosseum, the iconic amphitheater in Rome, was the site of many of these gladiatorial combats. The sheer scale and grandeur of the Colosseum are a testament to the importance of these spectacles in Roman society. The gladiatorial combats were not just a form of entertainment. They were also a way of reinforcing social hierarchies and demonstrating the power of the Roman state. And now, as our breathing becomes slow and steady, let's reflect on the role of women in Roman society. While Roman society was patriarchal, women played an important role in family life, religious rituals, and economic activities. Roman women had certain legal rights and freedoms, although their rights were often limited compared to those of men. Some Roman women, particularly those from wealthy and influential families, exercised considerable power and influence behind the scenes. The stories of women like Livia Drusilla, the wife of Augustus, and Agrippina the Younger, the mother of Nero, offer a glimpse into the lives of women who wielded considerable power in the Roman Empire. While Roman society was far from egalitarian, women played a vital role in shaping its culture, politics, and economy. The study of Roman women's lives provides a more nuanced and complete understanding of Roman society as a whole. As we approach the threshold of sleep, let us remember the words of the Roman poet Virgil, who wrote, "Love conquers all." Love, in its many forms, has always been a powerful force in human life, and it played an important role in Roman society. The Romans valued love between family members, friends, and romantic partners. The stories of love and passion in Roman mythology and literature continue to resonate with us today. The tale of Cupid and Psyche, a story of love, overcoming obstacles, and achieving immortality, is a timeless exploration of the power of love. Similarly, the story of Dido and Aeneas, a tragic tale of love and loss, reminds us of the pain and heartbreak that can accompany romantic relationships. Love, in its many forms, is a fundamental human experience, and it has shaped our cultures and societies throughout history. And now, finally, as the stars twinkle in the night sky and the moon casts its gentle glow upon the world, it is time to surrender to the embrace of sleep. Let the worries and anxieties of the day melt away, and let the peace and tranquility of the night fill your soul. May your dreams be filled with beauty, wonder, and inspiration. May you wake refreshed and renewed, ready to embrace the new day with a sense of purpose and hope. Good night, dear listener. Sleep tight, and may the wisdom of the ancients guide you on your path. Let the echoes of the sleeping emperors fade into the silence, their stories a gentle lullaby as you drift into a peaceful slumber. Remember their lessons, their triumphs, and their failures, and let their legacy inspire you to live a life of meaning, purpose, and compassion. Good night. Sleep well. 61,194 characters. And now, as you find yourself drifting further into the realm of dreams, let's turn our attention to the Roman concept of fate, or fatum. The Romans, like many ancient cultures, believed that human lives were governed by an inescapable destiny. This idea of a preordained path, meticulously woven by the fates themselves, permeated Roman art, literature, and philosophy. The fates, or Parsi, as they were known, were personified as three goddesses: Nona, Decima, and Morta. Nona spun the thread of life, Decima measured its length, and Morta, with unwavering resolve, cut the thread at the appointed time, marking the end of an individual's existence. This concept of fatum wasn't necessarily viewed with dread or fatalism. Instead, it provided a framework for understanding the world and one's place within it. It encouraged Romans to accept both good fortune and adversity with a sense of stoic resignation, believing that everything happened for a reason, even if that reason was beyond human comprehension. The belief in fatum profoundly influenced Roman decision-making and their approach to life. Generals, for instance, often consulted oracles and interpreted omens before engaging in battle, seeking to discern the will of the gods and align their actions with a predetermined course of events. Politicians, too, would pay close attention to auspicious signs and portents, hoping to gain insight into the future and navigate the treacherous waters of Roman politics with greater certainty. Even ordinary citizens would participate in rituals and sacrifices designed to appease the gods and ensure their favor, believing that they could, to some extent, influence their fate through pious devotion and adherence to religious customs. The story of Oedipus, though Greek in origin, resonated deeply with the Roman understanding of fatum. Oedipus, despite his best efforts to escape the prophecy that he would kill his father and marry his mother, ultimately fulfilled his predetermined destiny, highlighting the irresistible power of fate. This narrative served as a cautionary tale, reminding Romans that even the most valiant attempts to defy destiny could prove futile. Consider, as well, the Roman obsession with astrology. This ancient practice, imported from the East, gained immense popularity among all social classes in Rome. Romans believed that the positions of the stars and planets at the time of their birth influenced their character, their life events, and their ultimate fate. Astrologers were consulted on matters of love, business, and even politics, offering insights into the future and advising individuals on how to best navigate their preordained path. The Emperor Augustus, for example, was a fervent believer in astrology and consulted his personal astrologer, Theogenes, on numerous occasions. This belief in astrology highlights the Roman desire to understand and control their fate, even within the confines of a predetermined destiny. It's a testament to the human longing to find meaning and order in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable. It connects to modern-day personality tests, where we seek to understand ourselves better based on limited information, reflecting a continued desire to find patterns and meaning in our lives. Now, as you feel your muscles relaxing and your mind becoming still, let's delve into the Roman perspective on the afterlife. Unlike some cultures that emphasized a singular vision of heaven or hell, the Roman view of the afterlife was multifaceted and somewhat ambiguous. While there were popular beliefs about the underworld, ruled by Pluto and Proserpina, and the Elysian Fields, a paradise for virtuous heroes, there was no single, universally accepted doctrine. Many Romans believed that the souls of the dead lingered near their tombs or in the familiar places of their earthly lives. This belief led to elaborate funerary rituals and the practice of offering food and drink to the deceased, ensuring their continued well-being in the afterlife. The concept of manes, the spirits of the departed ancestors, played a significant role in Roman religious life. Families would honor their ancestors through regular offerings and commemorations, believing that the manes could influence the lives of the living, offering protection and guidance, or, conversely, causing misfortune if neglected. The Roman poet Virgil, in his epic poem, the Aeneid, provides a vivid depiction of the underworld, describing its various regions and inhabitants. He portrays a complex and layered afterlife, where souls are judged for their deeds in life and assigned to appropriate realms, ranging from the idyllic Elysian Fields to the torturous depths of Tartarus. This vision of the afterlife, while fictional, reflects the Roman understanding of morality and justice, suggesting that actions in life have consequences that extend beyond the grave. The Roman concept of damnatio memoriae, the condemnation of memory, further highlights the importance of reputation and legacy in Roman society. When an individual, typically an emperor or high-ranking official, was deemed to have acted against the interests of the state, their name would be erased from public records, their statues destroyed, and their memory condemned to oblivion. This practice demonstrates the Roman belief that even after death, one's actions could have lasting consequences, shaping their legacy and influencing the way they were remembered by future generations. It's a stark contrast to the modern desire for fame and recognition, even if it comes at the expense of integrity and virtue. Think about the Roman tombs and mausoleums that still stand today, majestic structures designed to house the remains of prominent citizens and commemorate their achievements. These elaborate monuments serve as tangible reminders of the Roman belief in the importance of honoring the dead and preserving their memory for posterity. The Mausoleum of Augustus, for example, was a colossal structure built to house the remains of the first Roman emperor and his family. It stood as a symbol of imperial power and the enduring legacy of the Julio-Claudian dynasty. Similarly, the Pyramid of Cestius, a striking Egyptian-style pyramid located in Rome, was built as a tomb for Gaius Cestius, a wealthy Roman magistrate. These structures demonstrate the Roman desire to transcend mortality and leave a lasting mark on the world, a desire that resonates with us even today as we build monuments and memorials to honor those who have come before us. They echo the human need for meaning and remembrance, a longing to be remembered long after we are gone. And now, as your breathing becomes even deeper and more regular, let's turn our attention to the Roman understanding of the natural world. The Romans, while renowned for their engineering and military prowess, also possessed a deep appreciation for the beauty and power of nature. They revered natural phenomena, attributing them to the actions of various gods and goddesses. Rivers, mountains, forests, and even individual trees were often considered sacred, imbued with divine energy and worthy of veneration. The goddess Diana, for example, was associated with the hunt, the moon, and the wilderness, and her temples were often located in secluded forests and groves. The god Neptune ruled the seas, and his power was invoked by sailors and merchants seeking safe passage across the treacherous waters. The Romans also recognized the importance of agriculture and the cultivation of the land. The goddess Ceres was the patron of agriculture, and her festivals celebrated the bounty of the harvest and the fertility of the earth. The Roman writer Pliny the Elder, in his encyclopedic work Natural History, attempted to catalog and describe all aspects of the natural world, from the stars and planets to the plants and animals of the earth. While his work contains many inaccuracies and fanciful tales, it also reflects the Roman curiosity about the world around them and their desire to understand its workings. Pliny's Natural History served as a valuable source of information for centuries, influencing scientific thought and inspiring further exploration and discovery. It's a reminder that even flawed attempts at understanding can pave the way for future advancements. Consider the Roman aqueducts, marvels of engineering that transported fresh water from distant sources to the cities of the empire. These structures not only provided essential water supplies for Roman citizens, but also served as symbols of Roman power and ingenuity. The aqueducts demonstrate the Roman ability to harness the power of nature for their own benefit, a skill that contributed significantly to their success and longevity. The Roman approach to medicine was also closely intertwined with their understanding of the natural world. Roman physicians, such as Galen, drew heavily on the principles of Hippocratic medicine, emphasizing the importance of observation, diagnosis, and natural remedies. They believed that health was maintained by a balance of the four humors: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile, and that illness resulted from an imbalance of these humors. Roman physicians used a variety of herbal remedies, dietary modifications, and surgical procedures to restore balance and promote healing. The Roman military also had a well-developed medical corps, providing care for wounded soldiers on the battlefield and in military hospitals. The remains of Roman medical instruments and surgical tools have been discovered at archaeological sites throughout the empire, providing valuable insights into the practices of Roman medicine. This echoes the modern emphasis on preventative care, illustrating that societies throughout history have recognized the importance of maintaining health and well-being. As you continue to relax and feel your body sinking deeper into your bed, let's consider the role of humor and satire in Roman society. While the Romans were known for their seriousness and their emphasis on duty and honor, they also possessed a keen sense of humor. Roman comedy, both in its literary form and in its popular performances, provided a means of social commentary and a release from the pressures of daily life. Roman playwrights, such as Plautus and Terence, wrote comedies that poke fun at social conventions, political figures, and human foibles. Their plays were filled with witty dialogue, slapstick humor, and farcical situations, often involving mistaken identities, romantic entanglements, and clever servants outsmarting their masters. These comedies were hugely popular among Roman audiences, offering a welcome escape from the often grim realities of life in the Roman world. Roman satire, a genre that combined humor with social criticism, was another important form of entertainment and commentary. Roman satirists, such as Juvenal and Martial, used their wit and their sharp observations to expose the hypocrisy and corruption that plagued Roman society. They lampooned the excesses of the wealthy, the vanity of politicians, and the moral decay of the empire. Their satires were often biting and provocative, challenging the status quo and forcing readers to confront uncomfortable truths about their society. The tradition of Roman satire continues to influence writers and artists today, serving as a reminder of the power of humor to challenge authority and promote social change. Consider the modern-day political cartoons, which often use satire to critique politicians and policies, echoing the tradition of Roman satirists who used their wit to expose the flaws of their society. The Romans also had a fondness for puns, jokes, and anecdotes, which were often shared at dinner parties and social gatherings. These light-hearted forms of entertainment provided a means of bonding with friends and family and relieving the tension of daily life. The Emperor Augustus, despite his reputation for seriousness, was known to enjoy a good joke and often engaged in witty banter with his courtiers. This highlights the fact that even those in positions of power need to find ways to relax and connect with others through humor. The ruins of Pompeii, preserved by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD, have revealed numerous examples of Roman graffiti, including jokes, puns, and satirical comments. These inscriptions provide a glimpse into the everyday humor of Roman citizens and demonstrate that even in the face of impending disaster, people still found ways to laugh and find amusement in the world around them. This resilience in the face of adversity is a testament to the enduring power of humor in human life. Now, as you feel yourself drifting even closer to sleep, let's consider the Roman influence on law and governance. The Romans were renowned for their legal system, which was one of the most sophisticated and influential in the ancient world. Roman law, codified in the 12 Tables and later developed by jurists and emperors, provided a framework for regulating social relations, resolving disputes, and administering justice. Roman legal principles, such as the presumption of innocence, the right to a fair trial, and the concept of natural law, continue to influence legal systems around the world. The Roman concept of res publica, meaning public affair, laid the foundation for the development of republican governments in Europe and America. The Roman Republic, with its elected officials, its Senate, and its system of checks and balances, served as a model for later republics, including the United States. The Roman Empire, while ruled by emperors, also maintained a strong tradition of law and governance. Roman emperors, such as Augustus and Hadrian, were responsible for enacting laws, administering justice, and maintaining order throughout the empire. They relied on a vast bureaucracy of officials and administrators to carry out their duties and enforce the law. The Roman legal system was remarkably uniform throughout the empire, ensuring that citizens in different regions were subject to the same laws and legal procedures. This uniformity contributed to the stability and cohesion of the empire, facilitating trade, communication, and cultural exchange. The concept of citizenship was also central to Roman law and governance. Roman citizens enjoyed certain rights and privileges, including the right to vote, the right to hold public office, and the right to appeal legal decisions. The extension of Roman citizenship to conquered peoples was a key factor in the expansion and consolidation of the empire. The Roman legal system also influenced the development of international law. Roman jurists developed concepts such as ius gentium, the law of nations, which governed relations between different peoples and states. These concepts laid the foundation for the development of modern international law, which seeks to regulate relations between nations and promote peace and cooperation. The Roman legal legacy continues to shape our world today, influencing legal systems, political institutions, and international relations. The principles of Roman law, such as justice, fairness, and equality, remain fundamental values in modern society. The United States Capitol building, for example, draws inspiration from Roman architecture, symbolizing the enduring influence of Roman ideals on American democracy. And now, finally, as you're on the very brink of sleep, let's remember the enduring legacy of Rome. The Roman Empire may have fallen centuries ago, but its influence continues to resonate in our language, our culture, our laws, and our institutions. The Latin language, the language of the Romans, is the ancestor of many modern European languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and Portuguese. Roman literature, philosophy, and art continue to inspire and inform our understanding of the world. Roman engineering and architecture, with its aqueducts, roads, and buildings, continue to amaze and inspire us. The Roman legal system, with its emphasis on justice, fairness, and equality, continues to shape our legal systems and political institutions. The Roman Empire's vast reach and long duration allowed for the widespread dissemination of its culture and ideas. Roman art, architecture, and literature spread throughout Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East, influencing the development of Western civilization. Roman engineering and infrastructure, such as roads, aqueducts, and bridges, facilitated trade, communication, and cultural exchange, connecting diverse regions and peoples. The Roman Empire also played a crucial role in the spread of Christianity. Christianity, which originated in the Roman province of Judea, gradually gained followers throughout the empire, eventually becoming the dominant religion of the Roman world. The Roman Empire's adoption of Christianity had a profound impact on the course of history. shaping the religious, cultural, and political landscape of Europe for centuries to come. The study of Roman history and culture provides us with valuable insights into the human condition. The Romans, like all people, were capable of both great achievements and terrible failures. Their history is filled with stories of courage, innovation, and virtue, but also with stories of cruelty, corruption, and excess. By studying the Romans, we can learn about the complexities of human nature and the challenges of building and maintaining a just and prosperous society. The rise and fall of the Roman Empire serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the importance of good governance, social cohesion, and moral integrity. It encourages us to learn from the mistakes of the past and strive to create a better future. So now, as the stars continue to twinkle and the moon bathes the world in its gentle light, let the echoes of the sleeping emperors fade away, their stories a soft lullaby, as you drift into a deep and peaceful slumber. May your dreams be filled with wonder and inspiration. May you wake refreshed and ready to embrace the new day with a sense of purpose and hope. Good night, dear listener. Sleep well, and may the wisdom of the ancients guide you on your path. Let their legacy inspire you to live a life of meaning, purpose, and compassion. Good night, sleep tight, and dream of marble gods and emperors resting. 31,639 characters. And as you gently transition into the embrace of Morpheus, let's consider the echoes of those marble gods and sleeping emperors. Their influence, though seemingly distant, is woven into the very fabric of our modern world. Think, for instance, of the concept of citizenship, a cornerstone of democratic societies. The Romans, with their intricate system of laws and governance, were pioneers in defining and implementing citizenship, granting rights and responsibilities to individuals within their vast empire. This concept, refined and adapted over centuries, continues to shape our understanding of belonging, participation, and civic duty in the 21st century. The very idea that individuals have a voice in shaping their society, a principle so fundamental to modern democracies, owes a debt to the Roman ideals of civic engagement and participation. Consider, too, the enduring legacy of Roman architecture. From a majestic Colosseum, a testament to their engineering prowess and a stage for gladiatorial contests and public spectacles, to the intricate network of aqueducts that supplied their cities with fresh water, the Romans left an indelible mark on the built environment. Their use of concrete, a revolutionary material at the time, allowed them to construct structures of unparalleled scale and durability. The Pantheon, with its awe-inspiring dome, remains a marvel of architectural innovation, its design principles continuing to influence architects and engineers today. Even the simple arch, a ubiquitous element in buildings and bridges around the world, is a Roman invention that has stood the test of time, a silent testament to their ingenuity and skill. The Roman influence extends far beyond the tangible realm of architecture and infrastructure. Their contributions to law, language, and literature continue to shape our intellectual and cultural landscape. Roman law, with its emphasis on codified principles and legal precedent, has served as a foundation for legal systems around the world. The very concept of due process, the right to a fair trial and legal representation, is rooted in Roman legal traditions. The Latin language, the language of Cicero, Virgil, and Caesar, is not only the ancestor of many modern European languages, but also a source of countless scientific and technical terms. The works of Roman poets, playwrights, and philosophers continue to be studied and admired, offering insights into the human condition and the complexities of life. Even the names of our months bear witness to the enduring legacy of Rome. January, named after Janus, the Roman god of beginnings and transitions. March, named after Mars, the god of war. July, named after Julius Caesar, a pivotal figure in Roman history. These names, etched into our calendars, serve as a constant reminder of the Roman influence on our daily lives. They are a subtle but powerful testament to the enduring power of culture and tradition, reminding us that the past is always present, shaping our understanding of the world and our place within it. The study of Roman history is not merely an academic exercise. It is an opportunity to learn from the past, to understand the complexities of human nature, and to gain insights into the challenges of building and maintaining a just and prosperous society. The rise and fall of the Roman Empire serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the importance of good governance, social cohesion, and moral integrity. It highlights the dangers of unchecked power, corruption, and social inequality. By studying the Roman experience, we can gain a deeper understanding of the forces that shape human societies and the choices that determine their fate. And as you breathe deeply, feeling the gentle rhythm of your breath, consider the Roman concept of Pax Romana, a period of relative peace and prosperity that lasted for over 2 centuries. This era, ushered in by Emperor Augustus, was characterized by stability, economic growth, and cultural flourishing. While not without its challenges, the Pax Romana represented a golden age of Roman civilization, a time when art, literature, and philosophy thrived. The concept of Pax Romana continues to resonate today, representing the ideal of a world free from conflict and characterized by cooperation and understanding. It serves as a reminder that peace is not merely the absence of war, but a positive condition that requires constant effort and vigilance. Now, imagine the bustling streets of ancient Rome, the vibrant marketplace filled with merchants and artisans, the grand temples dedicated to the gods and goddesses. Picture the senators debating in the Forum, the gladiators battling in the Colosseum, the legions marching along the Appian Way. These images, conjured from the pages of history, offer a glimpse into a world that is both familiar and foreign, a world that continues to fascinate and inspire us. The echoes of ancient Rome resonate in our museums, our libraries, and our concert halls, reminding us of the enduring power of art, culture, and human achievement. The Roman Empire, at its zenith, encompassed a vast territory, stretching from the British Isles to North Africa, from Spain to the Middle East. This vast empire was a melting pot of cultures, languages, and religions. The Romans, known for their pragmatism and adaptability, were able to integrate diverse populations into their empire, creating a cohesive and prosperous society. The Roman legal system, infrastructure, and administrative structures facilitated trade, communication, and cultural exchange throughout the empire. The Roman Empire's ability to manage and integrate diverse populations serves as a valuable lesson for modern societies grappling with issues of immigration, multiculturalism, and globalization. And so, as your mind begins to wander and your eyelids grow heavy, let the stories of the sleeping emperors and the marble gods of midnight lull you into a deep and restful sleep. Their legacy, etched in stone and woven into the fabric of our world, will continue to inspire and inform us for generations to come. Remember the lessons of history, the triumphs and tragedies of the past, and strive to create a better future for all. Let the wisdom of the ancients guide you on your path, and may your dreams be filled with peace, hope, and wonder. Good night, dear listener. Sleep well, and may the echoes of the Roman Empire fade into the gentle silence of the night. Let the weight of empires and the whispers of gods cradle you into a peaceful slumber. Dream now of chariots and forums, of legions and laws, all fading into the soft, dark tapestry of sleep. 6,971 characters.